the absolute most best hot pink I've ever used in the entire world. Can I Hey everyone, it's Talia here. Welcome back to another video on my channel. We are going to do a favorites video today. I am very much looking forward to this. I test out a lot of different products throughout the months, and these type of videos are some of my favorites to film because I get to talk about products that are just standing out to me and something that I'm reaching for quite a bit. And we have like some exciting products to talk about in this video. We are going to go through quite a few brushes, which is exciting. I haven't featured like different brushes in a while. Professional nail supplies here. We have some favorite colors, some different favorite products, stamping products, like press-on supplies, as well as like an exciting brand to talk about. You know what? I think I'm going to talk about the product that I'm like most excited about. So DK Beauty is actually going to be carrying Beamy Beauty Box supplies very, very soon, which I am so excited about. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, you know that I'm a huge Beamy Beauty Box fan. What like originally like sold me on Beamy Beauty Box is their leaf gels, which I have put the majority of their leaf gels in this palette here. It is just so beautiful. I love using these for like glitter lines on nail art or any sort of hand painting that you want like a little extra sparkle in. These work so, so good for it. DK Beauty is quickly becoming like a one-stop shopping for like all of my favorite brands. So that's pretty cool. Some of my like favorite standout leaf ones, you wanted to pick up a couple of them. I absolutely love Silk. It is kind of like a champagne-y pink color. I reached for that one quite a bit. I am actually very close to being out of that one. They came out with like a neon leaf gel collection right down here. And those ones, all of them are like really, really good, but I absolutely love like the lime green. I feel like it's a unique or sparkly like leaf type of product. The pink one, I really, really like that one. What is that one called? Their rose gold is absolutely beautiful. Their charcoal one is really great too. Like truly, you cannot go wrong with like any of these. And if you're wondering how these differ from like the Accents leaf gels that they have, the Accents ones are just like a little bit more like leafy, I guess, whereas these ones are like a little bit more glittery, but they apply very, very similar one coat coverage, and they're just fantastic to do nail art with. So I like depot, or I put a bunch of my different pots in one of these empty watercolor pans. That way I just have it like ready to go whenever I want to do some different nail art. But I did want to talk about some other products that Beamy Beauty Box carries that stand out to me. So their gel polishes, absolutely fantastic. They had a collection launch that was like, I think it was called their Sun-Kissed collection, and it would probably be like the #1 collection that I'd recommend, especially for this like upcoming season, because it's just a whole variety of like bright colors. One thing that I really like that Beamy Beauty Box does with their collections is that no matter when they launch them, they all seem to work for like any season. Sun-Kissed collection that they released, it has a bunch of like bright pinks, and it's got a bunch of like turquoise colors that you would reach for like quite often. But also when you look at the initial collection, it's just like initially looks like a spring summer collection. So I just really, really like how they do that, the way that they combine the different colors. One of their fall collections had this beautiful sage green in it, and I think it is just such the perfect sage green for all year round. So that would be one of my recommendations. And then also they had a sheer like neutral collection launch as well. You guys know I love like sheer gel polishes. Specifically #4 is like the perfect sheer pink gel polish. And if you're wondering about consistency with the Beamy gel polishes, think of like a thin viscosity, highly pigmented, a little bit more on the runny side, but it like when you apply it, all just like self levels beautifully. These are so, so nice to work with. I'm a big, big fan of those gel polishes. I have been using their chromes for chrome stamping for so, so long. So specifically, this one is new to me actually. This one is Supernova, and this one is just really, really beautiful. I put it over top of like a dark purple, and it gives like this glass looking effect to it. It is so pretty. Oil Slick, if you're looking for a great like multicolored oil slick chrome, Beamy Beauty Box has you covered. Their blush is like the perfect medium chromy pink type of shade. It is just absolutely stunning. And then their rose gold is one of my favorites. They have rose gold chrome, and then they have hollow rose gold. And the hollow rose gold is a little bit more of like a chunkier chrome to work with, but still like equally beautiful. So you cannot go wrong, honestly, with any of their chromes. They are just such good quality. Oh, they're unicorn flakes. They have unicorn flakes as well that are very, very similar to the Flora flakes that I used to sell. So I reach for those all the time for different nail designs. Speaking of chrome, two more chromes that I would recommend are from TGB, the gel bottle, specifically Prism. It is a holographic that just applies so, so beautifully. I used it in demos when I was at the Back to Beauty show, and we did some chrome stamping with it. Just works so, so good, and it's so unique. The nice thing about working with holographic products is that because they have like multi-rainbow flecks in it, you can pair them with absolutely anything and they work really, really good. So this is a very versatile product. And then I would also recommend Pearl because it's got like a pinky purple luster to it. So I put it over top of a hot pink that we're actually going to talk about very soon here. And it was just beautiful, like the most perfect pink chromy set of nails. I absolutely loved it. But this actually works over like so many different colors. I did this like rainbow looking set as well, and I put it over top of it. And so then like it pulls the pink chrome, but it also like looked really cool over top of like the yellows and the greens. So I just think it's a very versatile chrome. Also, it's fantastic for chrome stamping. These are the metallic leaves from the gel bottle. I recently got the silver one in. Love it just as much as the gold. I would really like to see a rose gold that is like as shiny as this as well. But what I like about these flakes specifically is that not all flakes, when you use them in a dispersion layer, they don't all just like suck down into that dispersion layer. Some of them are just like too chunky and you like really got to work them in, and they're kind of like annoying to use. Not the case with these at all. You put them on a dispersion layer, they like suck right into it. Keep it nice and thin. You don't have to worry about like layering a clear gel over top or anything. They just work really, really good. So I've been really happy with those flakes. They're a nice addition to say like just a solid set of nails and just adding like a little accent to it. I really, really like working with those. Some colors that I have been reaching for a lot. This one from Apres, Latchkey Pink. It's the absolute most best hot pink I've ever used in the entire world. Can I say that? Yes, I think I can. It's what's on my nails right now too, like my little Frenchies here. It applies so beautiful, one coat coverage. When you cure it, it does like fade a little bit. This happens with a lot of like bright and neon type of products, but sometimes when you like let it cool down a little bit, like the pink kind of comes back, and that's what happens with this one. Like it's still just like a beautiful bold bright color no matter what it cures to. And then I have been doing more hand painting lately which is something that you guys know I am not. I don't know, you guys, like it's not like I can't hand paint. Find the process to be kind of like tedious. It's just not something that I have spent a lot of time learning how to do. I think when I think of hand painting, I think of character painting, and I am not a character artist at all. So I think that's kind of what I associated with, but I've been doing more hand painting lately. And so my go-to products for hand painting would be the Fusion gel paints. I really, really like working with those, but I also love hand painting with the Ombre gel polishes, any of them. They work so, so good. But two recommendations for you from me would be to get the French black and white. If you're looking for a good black and white to do hand painting with, I really, really like working with these. I find that I'm able to, they're very, very pigmented, which is what you want for any sort of black and white outlining type of products. And I would recommend like the French white and the French black. I've used like subway tile white, and I've used a couple of their other like darker shades, but these are the ones that I reach for like all the time for any sort of hand painting detailing that I want to do. I actually keep both of these at my nail desk because I've been using them and reaching for them a lot more lately. So speaking of hand painting, we're going to talk about some brushes. In one of my unbox and create videos, DK Beauty sent me, this one is not in my favorites. It's a good one, but it's not one of my favorites. Sent me a bunch of different brushes to try out. And the ones that they picked for me, absolutely perfect for the different nail art that I do. So I do want to talk about 5 of them here. So first up, we have these 2 brushes from the gel bottle. They're Liner 1 brush and they're Ombre 1 brush. So what I like about these brushes mostly is the weight of them. They are nice and light. They feel really good in my hand. I don't know about you, but I am the type of person that will like squeeze my brush or squeeze like my pen when I'm trying to use it. If I've got like a heavy brush and I've got that extra pressure on my hand, it's just kind of annoying to like paint with. But because these are nice and light and easy to work with, I find that I reach for them quite a bit. This Liner 1 brush though, it has like the perfect hair consistency. Like some of my liner brushes, I feel the need to trim down a bit. They might be a little bit too thick. not this one. This one is absolutely perfect. Probably my only complaint with these brushes is that the cap is so tight to get on. If I'm going to put the cap on, which I'm so bad for putting caps on my brushes, but if I'm going to attempt to try to put caps on, if it's like gonna wreck my brush trying to put it on, I absolutely am not gonna put it on. So that would be my only complaint about these. But the ombre brush has like the perfect amount of like little hairs at the top for doing ombre nail art, specifically marbling. I love marbling with this brush, and I really, really appreciate the weight of these brushes. Accents brushes. I have three that I have been reaching for all the time. Number 1, number 3, and number 8. And the thing that I like most about these have a good weight to them as well. These are quite a bit shorter than a lot of other brushes that we see. Like they're quite a bit shorter, but I do like that, and I like thickness of the handle of the accents brushes. But the price point of the accents brushes is very, very good, especially if you're looking for like a good collection of quality brushes to kind of like get you started and playing around with hand painting or different type of nail art. These ones have a very, very good price point, so I very much appreciate that. Number 1, I really like how small this one is. I use this one for like fine polka dots, or like if I need to do any sort of like filling in with my hand painting. This is the one that I tend to reach for it. Art brush number 3. I really, really like the shape of this brush. Like it goes thin at the handle, and then it's got like a thick belly on it. And then as it comes out to the bristles, there's only a few small bristles at the very end. So it works very good for doing any sort of like longer line work or thinner outlines, anything like that. It holds your product really, really nicely in here, but distributes like just the perfect amount when you are doing hand painting. And then this brush, this is just the cutest brush. Art brush number 8. It is like just such the cutest little smallest head on it. If you like a really deep French, which I do, and you need to like smooth out the edges of it, this one works really, really good because sometimes those bigger brushes are hard to get into like the smoothing out the arch of a French. I also like this for just like applying your gel colors down if you're going to do any sort of marbling, because it doesn't distribute too much product. You can do like a really good patting motion to get some really good marbling effects with it. I've been reaching for this brush a lot, so I definitely wanted to mention those. Luxio that have stood out to me. They're neutrals, which it's funny, I do use a ton of different colors all the time, but neutrals are just like, you can never have too many good like staple neutrals in your collection. So first up, this one was released in their recent wedding collection. This is Veil, and it is kind of like a neutral peachy shade, pinky like flecks in them, but they are very, very, very fine. So this works really good for the background of different nail art. I've used it for like an ombre that faded into like a glitter, and that it worked beautiful for that as well. It's funny because this collection came out with a white, a pink, and then this one. And initially when I was looking at them, this was like my least favorite color out of them. I'm like, I'm not going to reach for that one as much. I'm going to use the white. I'm going to use the pink. This one I've been reaching for a lot. The flecks in it just like match any sort of color that you're pairing with it. So if you are like, I did a really fun set of fruit nails for one of my online stamping workshops, and it worked really good for that because I had a whole bunch of different colors for the stamping that I was doing, but it kept the background nice and neutral, but would still pull different tones depending on whatever nail art I put on top of it. So this is a really, really versatile product. I've been really happy with that. And then Luxio Insight, apparently this is like a very popular color, and I can see why. This is the perfect like pearly, shimmery, neutral shade. I used it as the background for some hand painted nail art, and I love it. It's got just a nice sheen to it. Perfect if you're going to do some colorful nail art on top of it. I'm a big, big fan of this one, so I can see why that one is very popular. So then some stamping products. The Clear Jelly Stamper has just been releasing some of the coolest plates. I feel like I say that all the time, but really whoever like designs all of their plates, they're doing a great job, because these strawberry plates are like everything. These are just the perfect strawberry plates. Number 350 is probably the one that I would recommend the most, because I feel like this would be the most easiest to work with, and also like the most versatile with it if you want to do some watercolor stamping or anything. And I do have a variety of stamping workshops up online. So if you take my online stamping workshops, they do not expire. You can watch them like as many times as you want during the pre-sale anymore. Like as soon as you buy them, you're able to view them, which is really, really good. And they walk you through like all the stamping tips that you would need in the basic like intro to stamping workshop. There's also an advanced stamping workshop which goes over like chrome stamping as well as stamping with like flakes, watercolor, so many different ways to use your stamper and nail art together in that workshop. So if you need any help with stamping or you're curious more about stamping, those workshops are really, really helpful. So the strawberry one here, my only thing that I wish about this plate is I wish that there was smaller strawberries on here. There's like a whole bunch of really, really big ones, and then there's this cluster down here of some small ones. But I wish that there was more of like these outline and double layered ones in smaller formats, because as much as I love the big ones, I have clients that have smaller nail beds, and I like when I see smaller images in combination with the larger ones on stamping plates. It's just something that I personally like when I'm designing sets with a certain stamping plate. And then number 351, this one is an interesting plate. I actually have not, but it's more of like their watercolor garden inspired plate with how you stamp it. There are a lot of like really cute vine and strawberry images, which I think are going to be a little bit tricky to kind of line up because there's like 4 of them. I hope they do this with like every fruit. Like I want to see like a lemon plate, lemon and lime and orange. You could probably make it all work, or just like a citrus plate. Like how cool would it be if you had like an all cherry plate, or there's some other fruits that are like super popular. And well, we do have an all watermelon plate, but I wouldn't mind seeing another one of an all watermelon plate. Anyway, really, really happy with these. And I do have some of their other new releases coming out, and I cannot wait to share them because they have some really, really cool stuff coming out. So there's 2 stamping polishes that have really stood out to me lately. Number 224, the absolute most perfect yellow stamping polish. It is slightly on like the darker yellow side, which I think is really good. I think it makes it more of a versatile stamping polish. It's not too light, not too bright. It's just like the perfect yellow, and it stamps really nice too. So if you've worked with yellow stamping polishes or anything, they can be like a little bit finicky to get them to look like super bright over different colors, but this one works really, really good. I've been very happy with it. And then number 230S. So this is a white pearl, but it is a sheer stamping polish, which I am happy to see because I use these type of sheer stamping polishes. Actually, you know what? Now that we're talking about this, would this work good for that? Sometimes if layered stamping images, my cat's gonna fall off my nail desk. Oh, I gotta move her back. I gotta move her over a bit. Don't fall, Pearl. Sometimes if you're working with stamping images that are like 1, 2, 3, and then your 4th one is your outline to surround it all, it can be really hard to line all of those up, stamp your outline on it, and make it work. So one of my biggest tips for doing that would be to stamp the outline first and then go in and stamp like your fill-ins and then do like your outline in your, let's say, black color to like combine it all. I like working with a product like this that is like sheer and light so that it doesn't show up too much on my nail design, but enough for me to be able to see that outline so I can stamp my next layers. So this product works really, really good for that. Also, it's just like a beautiful light pearly color, and I tend to reach for like pearly white type of shades often in my nail art, so I'm really happy to see that one. They have a lot of sheer stamping polishes that they have released lately that work so, so good for layering. So I'm happy to see more sheer stamping polishes coming out. And then another standout product to me is the Clear Jelly Stamper watercolor palette in Macaron. I don't know how you say that. Sorry, guys. I love the colors of this palette. I think these are so beautiful. I've had this palette for quite a while, and I have reached for it so much. More so now, like that we're into spring nail art, summer nail art. I've been reaching for it a lot more, but I think these colors are just fantastic. And I also really like the shimmery pearl watercolors from Clear Jelly Stamper. They're easy to blend out, they're easy to layer. I'm just really, really happy with their pearls, and specifically this palette. I think it's just a perfect palette. I believe we work with that in one of my stamping workshops too, my advanced stamping workshop. And then I do have a watercolor stamping workshop up as well. I wanted to talk about. Okay, I recently tried out the Gel X Natural Almond medium tips in the shade Margot. And if you guys have been press-on artists for a while or used the Gel X products for a while, you'll know that the almond shape specifically is pretty new to the Gel X line. But this is my first time getting it in medium, and I really, really like the length of these. I feel like for a medium, it's not too long. Some of the medium shapes of the Apres tips are quite long, but this one's pretty good. I like the shape of the almond as well. I think it's a beautiful shape. Specifically, though, the Margot color stunning. This is just such a great background color for different nail art. They work really, really nice because they're a little bit more pigmented than some of the other like neutral tips that Apres has. Using these as my base for my press-ons and then going in and using a neutral gel polish or that pink gel polish on top of it. I really only need one coat, so I'm really liking that about this one. You guys know I really like the Whitney color as well. It is like a milky white for the exact same reason. Except this one I can use like some of my like more neutral shades versus like some of my lighter type of glittery colors or shimmery type of colors with the Whitney. So I did want to talk about that one. It's very, very helpful if you want to learn more about working with watercolors in combination with your stamping. So I want to know, what products have you guys been reaching for lately? What stands out to you? Comment below, let me know. I love hearing your guys' feedback on different products that you have tried that I've recommended. Or if there's something that like I just desperately need to try, definitely let me know. Make sure you're following me on all my social media, and I will see you guys in the next video.